The Right Reverend Dr. David Walker is Lord Bishop of Manchester, sits in the Lords and joins us. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Can I start with that last point from the Rwandan negotiator, saying that basically what she was suggesting is that whoever gets sent to Rwanda will be able to stay and build a life there. They might not get refugee status, but they will be given work permits and be allowed to stay. Does that change things?
It doesn't, for me, change the unanimous decision of 5 Supreme Court judges who spent a long time looking at this. And as was said earlier on the programme, they have produced not simply a one-line verdict. They've given the reasoning behind that in great depth, and nothing that can be said by a single spokesperson on a lunchtime radio programme is going to weigh very strongly by comparison with 5 Supreme Court judges who've given so much time and so much energy to determining this matter.
Indeed, but at the core of what the Supreme Court judges were saying was this question of non-refoulement, the idea that somebody could be sent back where their life or liberty is at stake. And if Rwanda gave some guarantee, look, whatever status they actually come into Rwanda on, they will be allowed to stay, does that not just make it effectively go away?
Well, would that we could believe it to be the case. I think what has been found is that the situation in Rwanda has been difficult over many years, and that's simply because a spokesperson for the Rwandan government is willing to say that everything's different now. I think it would take a lot to believe that.
Right. Even if it were in whatever emergency laws come before you in the House of Lords in the next few weeks.
I think it would be very difficult at such short notice to believe that such a great change had taken place. I'm a bishop. I believe in sinners repenting and leading a new life. But I think I'd want to see evidence before I entrusted the lives of vulnerable asylum seekers to a country that the Supreme Court judges have decided has not been safe in the past.
OK, so from what you're saying, whatever the government is able to put into this treaty and the emergency laws, you will vote against it when it comes through the House of Lords?
Well, I shall look at all legislation with care and attention, listen to the speeches that are made on the various sides, and come to a decision as to what amendments I want to put or vote in favour of, and how I want to vote at any final decision. We'll as the Supreme Court judges did, we'll look at the thing on its merits. But at the moment, this feels like a very steep mountain for the government to climb.
Why? Because do you see it as just a matter of fact, given what the Supreme Court judges have said, that Rwanda is not safe?
I think that it's incumbent upon me as a citizen of this land to treat as matters that the Supreme Court of this land has judged as fact to be fact. And until the facts change, it is hard to see how my opinion would change.
Right. I mean, we're speaking to you as Lord Walker. You are also, of course, a bishop. Is there some, I don't know, perhaps a moral case aside from the legal one here that you feel uncomfortable about?
Well, ever since the government announced the plan to have asylum seekers dealt with in a third country without any right then to return to the UK, I've been opposed to that because I feel we don't take our fair share of asylum seekers compared with other European countries. I think we're about the 21st if you compare the proportion of asylum seekers we take compared with our total population. So we're not pulling our weight among other nations who are similar to our own, and I feel that then trying to remove the few people who do come here, I think it's less than 10% of net migration to UK is people who come as asylum seekers who become refugees.
And yet,
I don't think we're doing our share.
And just briefly, the government would say, look, we were voted by people. The public want this to happen. You're a non-elected person in the House of Lords. You must take account of that.
We always take account of what the elected chamber has been elected to do, but I don't recall that the processing people, sending them to other countries without the right to return to the UK if they're approved for genuine refugees was ever part of any government manifesto.